Hello, algebra students. I feel like you're mad at me after this review because I know it was a challenging one, but we're putting together so much of what we've learned. You guys got this. Let's take a look. It says, as she plants this year's garden, Felicity compares characteristics of different tomato varietals, their color, expected days until harvest, average fruit size, and the average seasonal yield per plant. The season ends up being a poor one for tomato yield. Poor Felicity. Due to a drought, Felicity is only able to harvest a total of 32 pounds from 3 early girl plants and 19 pounds of fruit from 3 brandywine plants. To the nearest percent, how much of the expected yield did Felicity's plants produce? All right. So what are they asking you to do or to find? Well, they didn't right come out and say it. But they did say, to the nearest percent, how much of the yield did Felicity's plants produce? So basically the idea here is we're trying to look at how much she produced out of that yield she expected, and turn that into a percent. And we know percents are always out of 100. So we can use our lovely method that we learned of using proportions to find a percent. If we can find this amount she produced and this amount she expected, then we'll be able to find that percent out of 100. So let's look at how much her plants produced. So let's see. Felicity is only able to harvest a total of 32 pounds from 3 early girl plants and 19 pounds from 3 brandywine plants. Okay, so if she got 32 from the first 3 plus 19 from the second 3, Miss Felicity produced 51. Well, she didn't. Her plants did. Pounds of tomatoes. But she expected to get a lot more, right? And that's where it's going to get a little trickier. So she expected, what did she expect? Well, now I need the table. So what kinds of tomatoes was it? 3 early girl plants. Okay, so early girl plants, the expected yield, it says, is 24. So if she had 3 of those, she would have expected to get 24 3 times, or 72 pounds. And then she also had, what else did she have? 3 brandywine plants. So 3 times brandywine was expected to have a yield of 12 pounds. So 36. So she was expecting to get 72 pounds from the early girls plus 36 pounds from the brandywine. Goodness, she was expecting to get 108 pounds. She did not do well. Okay, so the produced out of the expected is going to be equivalent or equal to the percent I'm looking for. Let's call it P out of 100. And now that it's set up like a proportion, I can solve this. So lovely. I love when it's a proportion, a fraction equal to a fraction, because I can use my wonderful principle that cross products are equivalent. So actually, let's start with this cross product. P times 108 is 108P. And then 51 times 100 is going to be 5100. And now I will divide away the 108 to solve. And find out that multiplying and dividing by 108 cancel. P's alone just like I wanted. And the percent is 5100 divided by 108. 47.22, yada, yada, yada. Do they want me to round? Oh, yeah, to the nearest percent. I'm going to cut it off at the nearest whole percent at the decimal place. That backside, it's not halfway past 0.5 yet. It's not big enough to matter. I'm going to call that 47%. Poor Felicity. Felicity, I get it. Although none of my tomatoes ever grow. I'll just have like one poor hard green tomato on a plant. At least you got 47%. Felicity, console yourself. All right, you guys. Here's hoping you're getting better at algebra than I am at gardening. Happy learning.